Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So guys, this video you're about to watch is about African American and Black American. Okay, so I don't know why the both they hate themselves. Like all my life I've been thinking all blacks in America are called Black Americans. So I never knew there are some called Black Americans and Black Africa. I don't know. So I'm posting this video because I am learning a lot from it myself. Okay, so things that I don't know before, I'm learning a lot from this video. All right, so let me know what you think on the comment section after watching the video. This channel does not support violence. We are all here to learn. I'm also learning. Okay, so don't forget to like, comment and share, and above subscribe to my channel for more videos. I'll see you guys on my next one. God bless you. Bye.
Africans see African Americans as Africans. You're going to have people that say, oh, Africans don't see African Americans as Africans, they see us as foreigners. I've been to the African continent. I've lived on the African continent. I studied at the University of Johannesburg for an exchange program. One of the questions I was constantly asked was, where are you from? I'd say the United States. They would ask me, where are you really from? They're implying an African country. Because as a Black American, when you are on the African continent, Africans don't know you're from the States until you start speaking. They assume you're just another African. So I would have to say a region in Africa because I'm not sure, because of the slave trade. But because we as African Americans, as well as Afro-Caribbeans and those in the diaspora, are Black, we blend in. This is why I don't like this whole African versus African Americans versus Afro-Caribbean. Y'all acting like if we dropped y'all in Nigeria, if we dropped y'all in Haiti, if we dropped y'all in the Bahamas, that they finna know you from the States. Yeah, when you start talking, they're gonna know, okay, he has an accent, where is he from? But until that point is asked, you just another African person walking around in the society. Just like you got this debate between African American culture, Afro-Caribbean culture, and African. Like we don't exchange from one another. Like you a Black American ain't African, but you eating yams and okra all the time. You an African who said we ain't got no connection with African Americans, but you listening to hip hop and Afrobeat. You say you ain't Afro-Caribbean, but some of your ancestors come from the Barbados and Haiti, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. Well, Jabari, we weren't born there. We aren't from there. They're going to know we're different. Yeah, just like a Black person from Mississippi is different from a Black person in Ohio. A Black person from the Bronx is different from a Black person who's from LA. A Black person from Enugu is different from a Black person in Kano. A Black person from Johannesburg is different from a Black person from Cape Town. Quit the unnecessary divisions. Africans see African Americans as well as other members of the diaspora as Africans. That don't mean it's kumbaya. It means we are part of the African family whether or not you live on the continent or abroad. I will go even further and say African American along with Afro-Caribbean and Afro-Latino culture all are a part of African culture. They are subsets unique to their own circumstances. And y'all can rep your culture. Because that's what makes African culture special.
Most African Americans don't like to be called Africans. I tried to understand this in some of my studies, and I discovered that a lot of African Americans believe that Africa is a zoo.
No, that's not it. It's simply because we are not African. See, there's obviously a lot you don't know about this country. You don't know in this country that we are the indigenous people, the Aboriginal American Indians, because they lied and told you all that we came from there. You don't know that these people came to our land and tried to wipe us out, and when they could not physically defeat us, they did something known as paper genocide. They took our ancestors and reclassified them from Aboriginal American Indians to Negro, Black, or colored, and they replaced us with Siberian Eskimos from Russia, Caucasians, and Mongolians. Our ancestors fought to get our rights back, but what did this government do? They took all the things we were supposed to get and gave it to these invaders, these Mongolians, these Siberians, and these Europeans who only had to pay $5 to claim our identity. This was the very first April Fool's joke. Go look it up. Not only that, they have brainwashed and confused a lot of Aboriginal American Indians to thinking that they are actually from Africa. They use people like Jesse Jackson, Dr. Umar, Al Sharpton, all to push this ideology that we came from Africa when we did not. And because you guys are lied to and manipulated by our white media, you also fell into this trap of believing that we are African. But what you don't realize is when you get on the internet and make videos like this saying that we all come from Africa, you are contributing to white supremacy, stating that all neuromelanated people came from one place and they inhabited the rest of the world, which is just nonsense. Yes, you and I, an Aboriginal American Indian and an Aboriginal African, are the same species, neither, so we might share some features. But my people never came from Africa. We are original, indigenous to this land, just like you are to Africa. And it is now the age of enlightenment. So we are fighting and reclaiming our identity. And this is why we refuse to let you, the $5 Native American, the European, or anyone else misclassify us anymore. We are not African. We are not African American. We are not black. We are the indigenous Tamarians, the Aboriginal American Indians, the Mississippians, the Californians, the Choctaw, the Niji. We are the American Indian. Peace to the gods.
Africans versus African Americans. These diaspora wars have to fucking stop. Us African immigrants are moving a lot like colonizers and gentrifiers. We move into these low-income black neighborhoods, disrespect the residents, and pick and choose which parts of African American culture that we enjoy and viciously condemn the parts of African American culture that we do not. That sounds a little familiar, don't it? Unfortunately, most African immigrants internalize that the quickest way to assimilate into American culture is through anti-blackness. Because as we all know far too well, anti-blackness is as American as genocide. Apple pie. I'm sorry to inform y'all, but this strategy is not gonna work. Because in the eyes of Mayonnaise America, you are still a nigga. Only difference, you got an accent they can make fun of. If a cop pulls up on you, at no point are they going to ask you, "Hey, jambalaya jello, cassava leaf for collard greens, nigga, identify yourself." And we try to pass that mentality down to our American-born children. Thankfully, though, it's not effective because we're no longer talking about mystery African American. You're now talking about our friends, classmates, coworkers, teammates, girlfriends, boyfriends, etc. So the idea is that this mentality dies the further down the bloodline we go. Or at least I thought it was, until I logged into the clock app and see that we're still arguing about the same damn things. For my fellow Africans who are just acting like their home country is God's favorite oasis, can I ask you a quick question? Why did you or your parents leave? To get a better life, right? Well, what do you think African Americans want? Only difference is, 9 times out of 10, they don't have the option to go somewhere else like we do. So not only do they have to deal with the same narratives that unseasoned America gives them from people who not only look like them, but are from this motherland that was stripped from them, we have the nerve to do it right next door to them. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'd bang with us too much either. So in the future, my people, why not be a little more compassionate? Matter of fact, let's take it a step further. Be embracing. We have a connection to a motherland that they don't have, and it's a beautiful one. Why wouldn't you want to share that? Historically speaking, we have done a terrible job of doing that. And I feel that if we do a better job of that, eventually these tensions are going to die down a little bit. I'll leave you with an African proverb that I think is relevant. The child that is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
So I was in London for less than 24 hours and learned something that may or may not have triggered an identity crisis within me. So I met up with a friend and I was talking with this guy and he asked me where I was from. And I said, yeah, I'm from the United States. I'm just visiting for the day. And he said he was from London. And he said he was born and raised there. And I was like, oh, cool. So you're English. And he was like, no, I'm Nigerian. And I was like, but you said you were born here. Like, would that make you English? And he was like, no, my family is from Nigeria. So I'm Nigerian. And he said, well, where's your family from? And I said, the United States. And he said, no, well, where did they come like before that? And I was like, well, my ancestors were enslaved, so I don't know. I just know that I'm black. And we just like stared at each other for a little bit after that. But I am shocked that Black people outside of the United States like know where they come from. But then I just thought, no wonder we made a Black culture, because we didn't really have one.
And I don't say African Americans. Please understand something. I don't condemn Africans. I don't criticize Africans. But I don't know anything about Africa. I've never been to Africa. I don't know the streets. I don't have any cousins. I don't know any friends. I know nothing about Africa. I was born, bred, raised right here in America. I am 100% American, and I am nothing else. I'm okay with that. You don't need to call me an African American. I don't need the prefix put on the front of who I am, because now you're trying to take away from my Americanism. So that's how I am. You may be different. That's fine. You want to chase your heritage in Africa? That's fine. I chase mine here in America because I see America from a different perspective now. I understand the importance of America and how great America is. That's why people are running here.